Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of The Competitive Edge, the show where we take your game to the next level. Now, if you're familiar with competitive cards, our first host here needs no introduction. He's a multi-season Hearthstone Grandmaster and top 4 Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds competitor, LambySeries, and me, Coco4, a casually competitive Marvel Snap streamer who also has played Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, we're here to talk to you guys about Thanos Lane Lockdown, a deck that was originally inspired by Den, who's been playing these kinds of lists pretty much since the release of Thanos. And then we essentially just kind of took his shell of the Thanos Zoo deck, messed around with it a bit, and landed here. And so we're going to break it all down for you today.
Yeah, so basically, Coco already did my introductions. What's up, guys? If you guys don't know who I am, well, now you do. But okay, so this deck is quite interesting because I've been a huge fan of Thanos Lockjaw for the longest time. But then the nerfs happened. I tried Thanos Lockjaw again, and it never seemed like it was as good. So I was trying to find many alternatives to playing the deck, and then Coco just hit me with this one. He's like, try this out, and I tried it out, and the rest was history. I love the deck. I mean, this deck is okay, so the main thing about this deck is that it's I like to call it small ball Thanos because compared to the Thanos Lockjaw, there's a lot less stats going around. But the thing is, this deck is mainly focused on trying to, as the name says, lock down the lane with things like Professor X, Spider-Man, and then using Valkyrie to steal lanes. Of course, you have things like Shang-Chi to also steal lanes. And then of course your main point gainers are things like Bishop, Devil Dinosaur. Well, to a certain extent, Valkyrie is also a point gainer, because it makes everything smaller. And yeah, the stones just add an element of flexibility to the deck, because Soul Stone with Valkyrie lets you steal a lane because everything is 3, and then Soul Stone makes everything less than 3 on your opponent's side of the board.
Yeah.
Reality Stone just helps you with bad locations. Time Stone is Time Stone because you can go Professor X on turn 4. So the deck is really very flexible, and one of the biggest reasons why I like the deck right now is it has a very, very good Shuri Red Skull matchup. People have been complaining that the Shuri Red Skull matchup is unbeatable. The deck is too good. Yes, the deck is kind of too good, but this deck has quite a favorable matchup into that.
Oh yeah, we can attack that matchup on a variety of axes here.
Mm-hmm.
And also the deck is just chock full of scams as well.
Yeah, you get to play zero cost things, right, with these. And I feel like if you like playing card games, you like playing I don't know, other card games as well, doing things for free always feels really good.
Oh, absolutely. And then because you also just have the option of Devil Dinosaur Valkyrie as a lane just to steal. The deck just presents a multitude of avenues to get to your win. The win conditions are narrow, but the way you get there is different every single game.
Yeah. So I think this deck, the biggest issue I feel with this deck, it's not that it's kind of interesting. It's not that the deck is not good. The deck's actually really good, but it's not good because there's one thing not so good about this deck, which is it requires tons of brain cells. So if I'm playing for hours, and then I suddenly decide to try and win with this deck. If my brain is drained, I can't win with this deck because it requires a lot of thinking. And it's not linear at all, but on the flip side, it's super satisfying to win with. Yeah, so I mean, it's reward for your hard work.
Yep. Especially when you have those, because a lot of times in this game you need to have a rough path set out for your hand by turn 3. You need to be able to look at your hand and be okay, how am I going to allocate my resources? Now, the lane positioning can change, but the overall strategy of how you want your lanes to look in terms of what cards are going to be going together, you need to be able to pinpoint that as soon as possible, which again makes it challenging because the amount of extra cards you're drawing. Every time you draw a card, the whole dynamic of your hand changes. So you have to be able to adapt to those kinds of that. You have to be able to adapt that information relatively quick, because I believe you only have a minute and a half per turn to navigate. So when you resolve a turn, you just drew 4 new cards plus a card per turn. Everything changes.
Yeah, the deck honestly is one of those decks that I feel okay, Thanos in general is already different every game, like Thanos Lockjaw was, but this deck is even more so. Every game is a different puzzle you gotta solve, and sometimes like Coco mentioned, you have to predetermine where you want things to go. Let's say as early as maybe turn 1 or 2 with your Soul Stone, you can be thinking along the lines of like, okay, if my Soul Stone is going here, there's a very high likelihood the Valkyrie is going here as well to steal the lane. Or like, where do I play these other like things like Hood or like my other stones?
Mhm.
Because if I draw a beast, right, where do I want to use like the beast to bounce all these cards back to my hand? Or like, do I want to stack a lane a little bit more than the other lanes so that if I top deck Professor X or Spider-Man, it like can solo the lane, something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of like preemptive decisions which, as much as you can call it like educated guesswork, sometimes it takes practice to like feel out where you want to like make these plays. It's a lot of like practice. I mean, of course, the lazy man's way is that the lazy man's way is that we have Daredevil to figure things out for us, which is in the deck as well. So
Daredevil solves a lot of problems in the figuring everything out category for this deck. But if you are picking up this deck, I do recommend getting in the habit of playing like you have the card you need, because you cycle so much, and again, all the pre-setup is based on finding certain cards. Now, you'll take some losses in some games because you don't always draw it, but you have to rely on the fact that like your deck is built to do the thing. Play like you're going to draw the thing, and then you get a lot more rewarded, which does take a lot of time to get comfortable with, mainly because of matchup knowledge.
I think Coco's right.
With certain cards.
Yeah. Like Coco said it perfectly. Like, so basically, firstly, matchup knowledge is very important when it comes to winning with this deck, because like you need to know what your opponent's like maximum output is. Do they run like ongoing stuff that mess up your Valkyrie, like ongoing buffs? Do they have a way to like get into a lane that is locked out by Spider-Man? So I feel like this list gets better as you get better. Like, it grows with you as you understand the meta, which is a good deck, right? Because it grows as you grow. So I think this is one of those decks that I feel like when you initially pick it up, you'll be like, oh my god, what's going on? But as you learn the deck, as you learn the meta with the deck, your plays will get better and you start to make more like calculated risks that pay off in the end.
Yep. There's also like the whole aspect behind Beast of understanding when it's okay to skip a draw because the value you get off Beast is going to be worth more than one card. Like you'll skip one draw, but you're adding 2 free 0 mana draws to your hand, things like that, like the hand management, counting your pluses, things along that line. And then also going hand in hand with that is the priority manipulation, being able to identify in a matchup when you want priority, when essentially when we're not going to be going for the Valkyrie win condition on 6 and when we are.
Yeah,
which I find to be huge as well.
We've talked a lot about like how good this deck is or what this deck can do. I think also people are curious about like what are some potential like card options, alternatives if they don't have a certain card, if they want to just like try different things. So I'm gonna start it off. I feel like in this deck, after playtesting so much, this is relevant to the meta, by the way, whatever we are saying right now. I think one of the very flexible spots is actually Shang-Chi. It is interesting, right? Because in a control deck, sort of, you want like a Shang-Chi to like kill off your opponent's big stuff. But from playtesting, I realized that Shang-Chi is actually one of the most like difficult cards to use, because it's not really a cheap card. It's expensive. It's for cost, and like a lot of the time with the amount of stones that you play on the board, Valkyrie kind of does the similar job. Of course, it's not a direct replacement, but I feel like in a open deck list format, I would say I would want a Shang-Chi because I want my opponent to play around a Shang-Chi. But in something like closed deck list on ladder, if you find something more useful, like let's say off the top, I think Sunspot's not bad in that slot as well. You could run like a Viper to swap over your Hood, stuff like that. So I think Shang-Chi is one of those cards that's a little bit more flexible for the list.
Excuse me. Yeah, you can swap that. You could also do like Carnage, just for more board space cleanup, things along those lines. There's like again, this list is very, very open. You can get pretty experimental with what you want to play. But generally, I'm saying if the role that Shang-Chi fills as utility, I'd probably want to replace it with more utility. If you were looking to pick something in the deck, if you're carrying Shang-Chi.
I also think like this one was because I posted the deck on Twitter, and then most of the comments regarding replacements were about Bast, because Bast was like Series 5 and now Series 4, so some people don't have it, and like, it's not like
it's quite a narrow card to spend your tokens on as well.
Yeah, it's not a popular pickup like even like now, right? Because this deck is still like upcoming. But so I feel like if you don't have Bast, like Coco said, we can go with like a Carnage. Like, I mean, Bast is good in this deck. It's like natural synergy, but like if you don't have it, you could go with like a Carnage. I mentioned Sunspot earlier because sometimes you do float mana if you don't draw like your early stuff. So Carnage, Viper, Sunspot. Yeah, maybe even Mr. Fantastic is decent because
Yeah,
it
I
helps
was
you
say
win
that as
Valkyrie
well.
lanes. Yeah.
Fantastic,
So it's an
fantastic can
option.
work. You can even go the other way, and you can do more utility. You can go the Iceman route too.
Oh,
need,
right.
it's not that's obviously meta dependent. If everything's playing their cards early, then no. But
Mm-hmm.
Iceman Beast is always good. Iceman just as a card itself is generally like pretty high value. You can also slot in Ant-Man just for extra Valkyrie synergy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I feel like
Valkyrie Ant-Man is generally just a win condition.
when you play that stuff like Beast, you really want to bounce cards that effectively will cost 0 on the following turn. That's why we keep talking about like I'm doing 0 cost things and playing extra 1-drops if you want to replace Bast. Because like if you bounce a card that costs like 2 or 3 with Beast, it's still gonna cost like 1 or 2 on your following turn. But the thing is, if you bounce the 1 cost, it's gonna cost 0. So 0 means like it doesn't cost like obviously anything, which means you can pair it with like anything at whichever mana like position you're at to like just like add more stats to the board wherever you need to add stats. Plus, it also fuels Bishop very easily with after the Beast bounce with 0 cost cards.
Agreed. And there is people out there who are asking about like cutting the Chavez as well. Lamby, I know you're a Chavez truther, so I'll let you handle. I'll let you take the wheel on that one.
Yes. Okay, so I play too much Thanos, a lot of Thanos. Every single time I cut Chavez from this deck, I feel like I need to like reevaluate my life. Okay, no, but jokes aside, like I think Chavez is super important in the deck. It's cuttable if you really want to compromise your consistency, because like you might not see it in like maybe 10 games, you might not see it in like 100 games, but in okay, maybe 100's a bit much, but like in 50 games you don't see it. But like in 100 games of not playing Chavez, I assure you, you will feel the lack of consistency of drawing your early game. Because as much as Chavez is like a not so good draw on turn 6, this deck has a lot of cards that it wants to see in its early game. It wants to see the Bast, it wants to see the Beast, it wants to see Bishop, the Stones, especially the Stones. So like the thing is, the Stones are what lets you draw through the rest of your deck. And Chavez lets you see these things more consistently. So I think the downside of having a sort of dead draw on turn 6 is mitigated by the fact that you get to see your primary game plan more consistently throughout the early game. And I think that is super important. And I think if you play this deck with Chavez and without, you will see the difference over a significant period of time.
Absolutely. Consistency over time is pretty much name of the game when we're playing on ladder. And also, like you were, like, I'm just going to reiterate a point here. As you're looking at every single card in the deck that isn't Valkyrie and Thanos, you pretty much always want to see pre-turn 6.
Yep.
Every single one. There's not a single card in the deck really that maybe Dino. Sometimes you play Dino on 6, but for the most part, everything you want earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to before we move on here, I just want to touch on maybe some of the weaknesses of the deck. Like where are we weak when we're playing this on ladder? What's some of the holes you find? I find decks that can go vertical and horizontal simultaneously. Like for example, big Thanos Lockjaw. If they get the Bluestone move and they get too big in 2 lanes, I find to have problems with that unless we can get like a sneaky win with Professor X.
Yeah.
Or have Shang into Valkyrie. I guess would be the play there, but those are the decks I tend to struggle with the most. Those and Killmonger.
Yeah. Okay, so my personal experience with this deck, so one of the reasons why this deck is coming up right now as well is because the Thanos Lockjaw deck got a bit nerfed. So it's a bit slower right now, that deck, and it doesn't high roll as often. So this deck has a chance to shine. But yeah, I know, I agree. If a deck goes vertical and horizontal concurrently very easily, this deck's gonna struggle a little bit. There's not many decks that do that right now.
No.
So that's why this deck has its time to shine. Killmonger is an issue for me as well because Valkyrie synergizes really well with your 1-cost cards. The problem with Killmonger is that it's always run in Sarah Miracle tech. So what happens is a lot of the time you will lose when they go for the Sarah on 5 and they play like a ton of stats plus a Killmonger on the final turn, which means you don't have time to redevelop. Like if I get hit by a Killmonger in this deck early enough, it's fine. But if I get hit on the final turn, there's no next turn, right? So they just dump it all on the final turn and then they clear your board and you have no time to redevelop because the game ends. So that's one of the weaknesses of the deck. And I think Killmonger in general is okay to deal with, but Killmonger on the final turn plus some other things from your opponent is very deadly for this deck.
And I find, excuse me, generally when you're playing those matchups, those are when you're looking for like the loading a lane and beasting it so you can hold everything back for your turn 6, give up your priority, and then you try and slam a Valkyrie lane. Yeah. With your 0 drops. It's tricky. It's beatable. It's just a little bit tricky. That, and then there's the obvious Darkhawk decks just kind of can be a problem depending on if they're playing like the Mystique. If they're only playing just Darkhawk, but they're not playing the Mystique or the Moon Girl or things like that, a lot of times you can deal with just losing one lane and coming over the top elsewhere. But Darkhawk as a card is just like a natural counter to what Thanos naturally is.
Yeah, so there have been like versions of lane control that don't run the Thanos, which are less bad versus the Darkhawk because we don't have like extra 6 cards in our deck. But like this version suffers more versus like Darkhawk, which Darkhawk and Mystique like combinations because your deck's naturally a bit bigger. Yeah, so it's really difficult to deal with Darkhawk, a big Darkhawk, because Valkyrie doesn't get rid of the ongoing effect of the Darkhawk. So that's one of those matchups that the Shang-Chi could be quite clutch. Yeah, but those aren't very popular decks right now. Like I think one of the main reasons why I really like this deck right now is because it has an insane Shuri matchup. Like the thing is, we've always been talking about like how to beat Shuri, right? We Shang-Chi their stuff. I mean, they have all armor Cosmo, so it's a bit harder and stuff like that. But like what I've realized is that if you can stop them from even playing the cards, that's usually the better way to win. Like if they have Shuri into Red Skull, Taskmaster, and you have no way of stopping that, you usually lose. But like if you can stop them from even playing out the cards, that's usually one of the paths to victory versus that deck.
A lot of times versus that deck too, Professor X is just free. Because on the turn you're playing Professor X, they're playing a singular card, and because we're faster than them, we're already on the board. And then from there, it's pretty academic at that point. You're either gonna win the off lane, you have your Shang, you have Valkyrie, you have a million other ways to beat them. So yeah, that matchup is again one of the reasons I love this deck so much. It's so much Shuri on the ladder, and it just feels amazing to run through them. Actually,
one of the like you mentioned, one of the easiest ways I beat Shuri with this deck is really very simple because we were talking about, like you were just mentioning that like we can go faster than them. It's not even just faster, we can go like more mana than them like earlier as well, because we go Time Stone on 3 into turn 4 / our 5 mana turn. We play Professor X, and what's their best play on 4? It's Shuri, right? 3 beats 2. So like we are just naturally bigger than their Shuri. Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's the scammiest Professor X ever, but it always works because they always want a Shuri on 4. And if they don't Shuri on 4, means they don't have Shuri on 4. So like,
and you win anyways.
It's a win-win either way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, and I guess one thing I want to point out here is don't be scared to just, even if you don't have Daredevil, play Professor X. Trust your instinct. Yes. A lot of the times, because we are the ones who are committing to the board earlier, it's a lot easier to predict how your opponent is going to have to respond into you. And if you can just pay attention to those board positions, I've won plenty of games just like jamming Professor X with no vision, like no Daredevil. Like you said, just do it on 4, things like that. Just don't be scared to just jam the Professor X.
Yeah, I think many players will understand this as well, because like when we were in pool 1 and pool 2, one of our go-to win conditions was random Professor X, right?
Yeah.
Like ongoing destroyer stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Is there any other specifics or stuff you want to point out on the deck before we go into some games here?
Yeah, I feel like not much is left to say of this deck. Like we've already broken down like why this deck is good, what this deck loses to, what this deck beats, and the fact that this deck is like a multiverse of difficulty and like random scenarios. But I feel like the only way you can really get better at this deck, and I think it speaks for both me and Coco as well, is to just play the deck. Like the more you play this deck, the more you will learn and grow with like the meta and how to play this deck versus the meta. So I think there's nothing much left to say. Let's just get into some games and hopefully we get some good results. yeah, I didn't count. All right, in this spot, there's 2 things we can do, right?
I personally like playing Bast first.
Yeah, just
this hand.
Just get the value of the Bast out. I'm down.
If we had Beast, it might be different. I might be more inclined to wait till turn 3. Yeah, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like I would do Hood now or Soulstone now. Sorry, Hood now into Soulstone Demon on 2 into Beast. Oops, gotta play this now.
Yeah, I'm already thinking way ahead. I'm already thinking of that this hand wins Asgard for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah, we get most likely get the draw of Asgard unless they play Time Stone into Dinosaur. Yeah. So that is honestly not bad. Because it's just big.
I think we can just kind of play it into Asgard if we wanted.
I like the flexibility of going Soulstone Hood first and see. So Soulstone left Hood like somewhere else, I guess.
I guess we just play safe.
Sure. Yeah. Like this
Cloak also gives us the option here, just like Bluestone, to move our Valkyrie win condition. Like we can move Soulstone whenever we feel like it.
Yeah. It's the power of RNG, guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's the boy.
That's nice. So
that's really big for us. Oh my.
Okay, so in this spot, I feel like we have to decide whether we want to bounce the hood lane or the bast lane. I feel like we actually bounce the hood lane.
Yeah. The hood, I was in the same boat there.
So we can go demon beast mid and then reevaluate if we want to win Asgard next turn.
Are we putting demon? I want to put demon back in our hand as a 0.
Yeah, exactly, because it's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing to note is that demon is
the hood lane here is in the mirror match. We're fighting for space equity, right? And our stats are now much larger. Like our 1-drop stats are going to be much larger.
What if they're playing the same deck? It looks like they're playing something similar.
They could be on the Valkyrie.
Yeah. Right. So assuming it's sort of a mirror match, we know that there's a good chance the Valkyrie could go mid, which means we can technically play around that. We have Dinosaur. I kind of want to draw with the Asgard, to try and draw for the Asgard.
I don't want to play Spider-Man now. This is just like an option on 5. If we think Valkyrie's coming here, we just...
Yeah, so I think we can go Demon left.
Yeah.
Okay, the problem is I don't really like to contest Bishop lane with Spider-Man, so I'm thinking I want to pile some stats middle and maybe Spider-Man middle. Like, maybe Daredevil... Wait, no, Daredevil right?
Yeah, I want to go Daredevil right, and this gives us the option to follow up with Dinosaur, and then we could just put Hood mid.
Hood mid, yeah. Hood mid.
Cloak is kind of dangerous. I don't want to let him move right now.
Yeah.
We have lane, we have the control here. So do we? I think we just kind of pass.
I think we just play Hood mid now, right? Because we might want a Demon plus Spider-Man mid to steal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, my brain slipped for a second there. I forgot that the Demon comes out as a 1.
Yeah. Alright, we get to draw. Nice. Ooh, the options. Alright, we get to see first. We get to see the future first.
Yeah.
And this, right?
This is the strength of Daredevil, where a lot of times you just know you win the game on 5.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if anyone noticed what I was saying earlier, but like I said I didn't want to contest the Bishop lane with Spider-Man because Bishop is an ever-growing threat.
Yes.
So like, there's a chance that that you can still do it because like if you lock out the Bishop lane, then like they have less cards to play as well. But we'll see. We'll see what our opponent decides to do first. Daredevil effectively better future reader than Kang right now. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's up.
Vision,
interesting.
Demon.
Wait.
Vision makes this odd.
Awkward,
so
right?
We could put 8 mid. We go to 11. This still wins mid all day long. It goes to 11 after the thing, right? And then it gives us, so we know we're drawing Chavez. So I guess then our turn 5 would be Dinosaur.
We could even Shang-Chi the Demon for what it's worth. Because it's gonna be 9.
Oh, that's actually true.
Yeah, I think this is fine. This is fine.
7, 8, 9, 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
We just go with this one. Yeah.
Do we need 3? So 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, we do need the demons.
Yeah,
this is good with Power Stone.
Yeah. The only way we don't do this like there's a big brain line here, but you actually don't play the demon mid and force them to have to shift, like to force them to not shift the vision. But that's like very big brain. Like might not be necessary right now. But okay, so
generally I don't make plays like that on ladder. I'll make plays like that like in a battle mode scenario when I understand
exactly.
Like what level my opponent's playing at. Like, do I need to be doing that kind of stuff?
It's my battle mode brain there. Okay, the left side is interesting. I don't think they can win it, right? I'm just curious. Like, it looks like it's a completely given up lane on the left. I mean, they could Valkyrie, but if they Valkyrie, we technically still win without playing a single card there, right? On the left.
They could also be Shang-Chi gamers and just blow us straight out of the water.
They could also be Shang-Chi.
Not Shang-Chi, Killmonger.
Killmonger gamers. Yeah, no, but at this point you don't play around this.
From the hub.
Yeah.
Did we ever just do this?
So just Omega win the lane, right?
You can't even lose to Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm down. We just Omega win the left lane.
The only
of course, wait, no, this loses Blue Marvel.
Yeah, oh, there we go.
Okay, we just make
losing mid to Blue Marvel, right?
We just have to decide. I'm down with this.
Yeah, and then we wouldn't play this. It's not worth the stats. I'd rather have it here. Yep. Oh, okay. There we go.
All right. So conclusion, no Blue Marvel. Oh, but for what it's worth, I think there is it's more merit to playing the Power Stone right since we're already super winning the left because Arrow, right, is a card. Okay, but technically they can't win mid.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this would be 13.
Yeah, maybe probably not. Probably
15.
Not,
So we would lose to the Arrow, but they still can't win left that way.
yeah.
Left is just so lost for them that like it's rough.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Right. I love these new Thanos animations. With the sounds and whatnot.
Totally, man. The animations are buff for me.
Okay, so it's no mirror match. Okay.
Well, personally, in this deck, like in general, since it's not a lockjaw deck, I like to play out my stones early to just like try and
that's what I was gonna
find
say.
things to do.
I don't know if I want to jam Hood yet. Do we just want to do, because I don't mind doing Power Stone space as well. Just this is generally going to steal us some priority. This is okay, but it's a bit of a commitment.
Yeah, I think the Hood is fine to hold because we can draw Bast, we can draw other things. So what I like to do is I like to split like early game. Normally, maybe we can go one.
This is generally my go-to, like this.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I like to split and then we see where it goes.
There's no, I don't really have logic for putting it over here. I just, for some reason, I always pick the right lane.
If we have Beast, it's a bit different. Like, okay, we did draw the Beast, but like, if we have Beast already in hand, I would probably stack both into one lane, but we didn't, so yeah. Now we can set up a Beast, right?
Yeah, because we can go 1, 2. Our hand goes to 4. We draw to 5. We play Beast down to 4. We add 3 back, but then we're going to get 2 draws plus a Hood. So is it worth it then to skip a draw on 4?
I mean, we could. It sounds it's fine, or we can just like not bounce the Power Stone as well.
Yeah, I was going to leave the Power Stone, and I was thinking about playing Hood Soulstone right here into Tinkerer's Workshop.
Yeah, I think that's good because we can then play Space Stone middle thereafter, and then move something to get a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So I figured here we skip our draw on 4, but like we're essentially drawing 3 cards by bouncing and then redrawing, like refilling off of that.
Right now we already have the what's that called? We have the Valkyrie, right? So this Soulstone we can hold it until whenever we want to like do whatever with the Valkyrie.
Yep. And then because we're getting Soulstone back, we could play out the Demon as well this turn. Then we mitigate that draw loss going on to 4, right?
Yeah, I actually think we play the Demon into the right lane.
Agreed.
I think it's worth the risk because it's 9, right?
And even if they do end up committing hard into this, we have Valkyrie to punish it.
Exactly. Plus, worst case, we can actually just Soulstone next turn to try and win the right. It's a lot of stats.
Yep, absolutely. We can also go the opposite direction and know that we can probably steal something with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay,
so... Alright, so it's an Electro deck, right?
Ooh, are they going to play a Leech on us here?
I'm thinking either Leech or the Dr. Octopus, one of the lanes, right? So I feel like this is that lane I want to get the Daredevil down.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing because I don't want to play Spider-Man because if it's Galactus, we just win.
Yeah. So I want to go Soulstone right, Bluestone in the middle, I guess.
Yeah.
So Daredevil probably goes. Okay, we can all in on the right to hope we don't lose the right because Daredevil can go right and we can shift something.
Yeah, we just shift. We can even shift Daredevil over for the +2 power, or we can move the Demon because we plan on Valkying this lane anyways.
Yeah. Oh wait, we want to draw a Mind Stone before we play Bluestone. I just realized. Yeah, I want to draw a Mind Stone first.
Do you want to put Mind Stone with Beast here? Yeah, just
sure.
I'm gonna go like this, and then we can hold the Hood for now.
Yeah, sure. We can hold the Hood. That's fine.
We can always jam.
So likely we win the right.
Yeah. So their Electro is gonna die. That is, so depending what they do here, this could be their most likely Galactus lane. Ooh, wrong.
Okay, but we have Devil. We have that Devil, so we can
so we get this
determine which lane we win, sort of.
The power of knowledge.
Yeah. This is the lazy man's way. Okay, I'm not saying if we do not have Daredevil in this spot, I feel like there's a good chance we still slam the Spider-Man somewhere. But now with the Spider-Man, it's clear cut. What is this thing? Can't see.
White Tiger.
Oh, White Tiger. Okay, it's a bit scary. I think what we do is we lock down the mid by shifting the Demon to the center and playing Spider-Man. Or
I was gonna say because now if one lands here, we're tied, and then if one lands here, we pass priority back, and then we just win right with Valkyrie.
Yeah, actually, my question is that do we even really need to shift the Demon because it's overkill, right? Is it possible we shift something smaller?
The only reason I wanted to shift the Demon is mainly for the potential the priority pass.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Then we just go Spider-Man mid. I want to time. Wait, I think I want to play the Hood. right? Do we still win mid if we play Hood mid? Yes, right?
Yeah, we do. Because we'll have
And
8, 9, 10, 11 minus 3. So we'll be at 8 and they'll be at 3.
yeah, it's fine. I think we can time stone left just to get more flexibility.
And now we kind of got options everywhere. Because now we have the option of either Devil Dinosaur to try and win this, or we got Valkyrie over here. Now, if we get unlucky and they both land on this side, well, oh well.
Yeah, no, either way, I think... Oh, this is perfect, right? Kind of good. Kind of good for us.
Kind of. So we have priority now, which is kind of rough.
Yeah. I mean, we can just go Valkyrie right, Demon left. It should win.
Yeah, right? Because we only have to win one lane here.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to win like what? 7. They have to have like 7-ish power on the right, and they'd have to have another. No, there's no way they make the split, right? It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, because they go down here to 4. We go to 12. Right? So they have to have at least 8 to tie. And that's 8 through a soul stone. Now, I don't want to snap this because I feel like we'll get the 2 cubes because they'll stay, but ideally we probably would snap last turn.
Yeah. So before we end the turn, this is one of those scenarios where I feel like we might lose to Killmonger. Okay, I'm pretty sure this deck doesn't run Killmonger, but like this is one of those scenarios where Killmonger kills us the hardest because it's the final turn we cannot redevelop. So like if you get hit by a Killmonger, like I was mentioning earlier, if you get hit by a Killmonger like in the middle of the game, it's more or less okay. But getting hit by a Killmonger on turn 6 with this deck is quite detrimental.
Yeah, because we lose all 3 lanes to a Killmonger.
But I don't
think they are playing it.
Yeah, no, but at this point we are committed, right? I don't think we wanna. Yeah,
I'm still okay with the line.
Right, so that one card is interesting to me. It is probably just stat. Yeah. Alright, that's fine.
Just stats.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, this game was a good first showing of like what the deck can do.
Absolutely.
It highlighted it highlighted a lot of strengths and like 1 or 2 weaknesses of the deck. I feel like it was quite relatively smooth for us. And you saw you saw how powerful the beast was in letting us reallocate our necessary resources into whichever lane we needed. So this is also one of the reasons why we really want Chavez, because as you can see with Chavez in the deck, we have more likelihood of drawing like the beast, the Mind Stone, the Valkyrie, which we needed as well. So yeah, Chavez is good. Alright, nice.
This is interesting. Oh.
Okay, so our deck has 0 ways of getting into... Okay, this is a very interesting game. Our deck has 0 ways of getting into the left lane. So we can make 2 assumptions right now. Yeah, ever since the blue stone. So it's... If our opponent can't get into the left lane as well, it's good for us. Well, if they can, then we gotta, like, hustle.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, regardless, I'm gonna play the Bast here because it lets you play the Bishop on 3 super cleanly.
It's like this. It's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, yeah.
If we were playing Lockjaw, I'd go right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they just gone into the left. So now we know that we cannot win the left lane ever. The next question is this a Killmonger deck, like a Death Wave, or is it a Patriot? Yeah.
Whenever I see this, I always err on the side of caution and assume that it's a Killmonger deck.
Yeah. So I think based on that,
I'd rather show them Daredevil first, so that they're not inclined to hold the Killmonger.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm down. We can play Daredevil right.
Space Throne, 1 time.
Yeah, that'll be the perfect Space Throne, man. Okay, this is interesting though. Alright, so now this is where we need to decide how to win the game, right? Because I think if we go Bishop right, there's a very high likelihood we always win the right, but...
I'd rather do it here for the Valkyries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I mean, we still have cards to draw to try and out on the right. But
yeah, we need to. The thing is, we need to like somehow win both. So I think we need to take some risk here.
Yep. We're never snapping in this game.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. What is
Surfer? Okay.
It's a Patriot. Okay. So
these kinds of decks are generally rough for us because Valkyrie does not hold a flame to any kind of ongoing buffs.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm just gonna Hood right, Beast right. Oh, wait, no. Because with Daredevil's the thing, right?
Yeah.
How much do we need this Daredevil aura though? That's the thing.
We really don't, because we know they're playing mid no matter what.
Yeah. So I think we bounce Daredevil just because we can like play it again with to make Bishop big. Yeah. So okay, some of these games. Okay, so this is one of those spots where I feel like if we don't draw like really well next turn, we can retreat. Yep. Yeah. It's fine to retreat. Right? It's fine to lose sometimes, right? It's perfectly fine because sometimes some games you just don't win. Ooh, wait. Is there a way to make enough stats on the right to at least contest 13? Let me see. Probably not, right?
Because we
Put
hit
demon. Wait, is it enough?
that's 9, 10, 11. We can tie them. Or
10.
we can go up by 1 if we play Shang here as well. So we can go like
Honestly,
Demon,
I would
Shang,
I would do
Hood,
that, right? Since
Yeah.
our opponent's not stepping us, we just play max stats.
hope for the
And
best.
then we see if they play. If they play anything along the lines of Blue Marvel or Mystique, we leave. Well, even if they don't, we might leave. All right, so I think this is it's a GG game for us.
Yeah, we actually cannot win.
Yeah, we actually cannot win this game because we
Yeah.
don't have ways to get into the left. We lost the right. Yeah. Yeah, so this is one of those games where you just lose. So we just leave here. We just leave.
That's okay.
That's an okay game. Like, when it comes to Marvel Snap in general, I feel like in our future videos we will talk about this more, but this is one of those good examples to show that, like, you know the strengths and weaknesses of your deck, know when you cannot win, because the Marvel Snap is centered around being able to let you run when you cannot win. So I think a lot of players this is the one without going too deep into this, but I think a lot of players, they find it difficult to climb on ladders because they stay in too often. I think one
Yes.
very strong trait of a good Marvel Snap player is knowing when you are supposed to just lose this game. Like, if you know that you
should
cannot
have
win,
a high retreat rate.
yes. Like
Yeah.
like even in battle mode, even on ladder or whatever, if you identify early that you're gonna lose like the game, just get out for 1 cube, right? And save yourself like time for the future.
The analogy there is poker, where you fold more often than you go to showdown.
Yeah.
Including your opponent folding. There's plenty of games that win in Snap where, like, resolving turn 6, I might lose, but my opponent will retreat beforehand just based off representation. Pretty much in those kind of like Patriot matchups or things like that, I almost never snap if they're showing that. Oh,
Yeah. Right.
I think this is a skip.
Yeah, it's a skip. It's a skip.
If our opponent doesn't skip and we draw redstone, I think we just win the game.
Okay, can I just say, just want to randomly put out there, like, this deck, this exact scenario, I've experienced a few times. It's like 99% of the time a skip, but like in certain scenarios, you need to
Sometimes.
like play cards here, because if you're, let's say in battle mode, if you know that like this is like the final rounds where you are gonna lose or whatever, maybe playing cards to try and draw the beast, to try and draw the bishop, blah blah blah, is actually quite important. So I'm just saying, like, it's usually 99% of the time a skip, but sometimes it's not.
Looking at this hand,
yeah,
I'm already thinking of like Time Stone next turn so we can Dino. And if we're not doing that, we'd be doing Time Stone on 5 into Thanos, right? Yeah. So Hellfire Cloud is rough for us. The losing Quinjet made this location hell.
Yeah, it makes it super hard. All right, we can just Soulstone somewhere, anywhere. I think it's left. Yeah.
Yeah. If our if our hand's stronger, I'm more inclined to play unrevealed. The average location is fine unrevealed. I know that's already been solved, but
oh.
Okay,
so I really like
Beast?
this. Time Stone.
Like, I don't mind something like this.
I'm thinking of bouncing the Soul Stone so I can play it on the right as well.
Oh no, we can also play it in Hellfire Club if we do that.
True. Yeah, actually, this is better.
It opens up our Valk options, right? Yeah.
Draw 1. We don't draw next turn, but it's fine.
We don't draw next turn, but we're adding 2 free draws after, right?
Yeah,
we're going -1 to go +1.
Yeah. Also, I think it's quite important that we start committing to the right lane as well, because it's just gonna snowball. So I know it sounds crazy, but I might want to go Dinosaur on the right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to get this down right now. I don't mind putting this next to it.
We could Soulstone mid to potentially draw.
Oh, actually, yeah, because we could always put Space Stone there after and then use our turn now.
Yeah.
To do this.
Yeah, I think Soulstone right. We want to get the stats rolling, right?
Yeah. So do we want to do this now then? Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, because we want to get the stats rolling. If we don't draw Valkyrie, this is going to be quite important.
Are you okay? I am okay with just this one commit to the mid.
Yeah, sure. It's fine. It might steal priority as well.
Yeah.
Which I think it will.
Ooh, that's a free Shang-Chi for us.
Yeah. Okay, but this also makes me feel like they play Killmonger, right? Like the death in the main deck. But yeah, it's a free Shang-Chi for us. Alright, so we did get priority with the one in the middle, which is quite important, I would say. Okay, we are on 6. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, I like Spider-Man here into Shang-Chi, but we need to figure out where we're gonna Spider-Man.
Okay,
This,
so
this is the thinking, but yeah.
personally, I would put it in Muir because I'd have if they're Killmonger gamers, right? This is kind of a lost cause.
Okay.
This is still
So
winning
we're gonna
even
go.
if they monger.
We're gonna go Spider-Man right. I'm thinking if we wanna play two. Oh, we can play. Okay, I got it. Spider-Man right. Then we play Mind Stone right and Blue Stone left. So if
Give
we
us the
overkill the
option.
right, we can shift. Yeah. If we overkill the right, we can shift. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like this a lot. Plus, we get the stats from the Muir Island now.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
This
So
is
this
probably
is-
way
okay, so we
for
overkilled the
Killmonger
right.
now.
Yeah, we overkilled the right, which is fine. Right, because the Spider-Man can shift left.
Yep.
It's additional stats for the left if you really need to. Or shift mid. Leech. Oh, this hurts. Okay, this hurts. We have a few lines here. Okay, so I think this one, there is two ways of looking at it. We can slam the Thanos either left or mid, and shift the Soul Stone or something either left or mid. But I think it's a full commit on one of the lanes. I don't think it's a half and half kind of thing.
I think
Yeah.
if I was going to do this, it would be a full commit somewhere.
Yeah, it's a full commit, right? So it's probably
doing
shift
here-
spy.
I'm not going to
Soulstone.
play it yet. I'm just saying, let's say we did this. This would be
Okay.
plus 16, so we'd be 19 lane, right? Versus their 11.
Yes.
They'd have to do 8 to catch up, right?
Wait, where is our power stone? I'm curious. Where's our power stone? Did we just not draw the power stone?
We didn't draw the power stone.
Because I saw Mind Stone draw one card, which is weird. I thought Mind Stone would. Or anyway.
So no matter where we play Thanos, it's 8 to catch up. But if we do
Yeah.
it here, they have to play a 9. They have to play 9 to get to that 8 to tie. If we go like this, and we're giving them up to 14, we go less 3 to 23, less another 2. So we'll be at 21 here.
Okay, personally, I always do. I will contest the lane that looks like I won't contest because people will think that I won't contest it, right? Like the 12 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did it
so
just
I'll
based off
do.
the math. This is 1 point larger gap.
Yeah,
gonna go for
I
it.
would contest the death lane because it looks like we won't do it. So that's why we do it.
Oh, they
And
left
then,
anyways.
okay, well, all that thinking, but like, okay, so now we break this down a little bit.
Yes.
So what I was actually saying was that the leech lane looks easier to beat, but it's because it's easier to beat, so people will think we will try to beat it,
Mhm.
which is why we don't do it. I don't know if you guys get my drift here. But yeah.
Because it's also the position our opponents in here. They have to win both of these lanes, so they're
Mhm.
gonna commit heavier to Hellfire Club because it's a much closer lane. We only got to
Yes.
win one of them, so we can
Of course,
actually
yeah.
commit to the harder lane, which would be here. And it
Yeah,
also
but once
ended up that
again-
they needed 9 versus 8.
Yeah. Once
Worked out,
again,
so.
I feel like whatever we said, if it goes completely wrong, I don't think it's technically a wrong decision. If we just had to commit to one of the lines,
Yeah.
right? Like if we know that they have that they had to win like one of the lanes, we also know that we had to win one of the lanes.
Yeah.
So like it's just
Making
we
a
have to
play and
decide which
losing
lane
doesn't
we wanna
mean you
win.
made the wrong play. Sometimes
Exactly,
you just
exactly.
sometimes the right play, it doesn't matter that your opponent just has it. But this is
Yeah.
like this play is high percentage. It's probably above 50% win in
Mhm.
my opinion. Go for it. Nothing in
Yeah.
card games is ever 100%.